He may not be as wealthy as former President Donald Trump, but Joe Biden has deep pockets, thanks to his books and speaking engagements. Before he turned to politics and became the 46th President of the United States, he briefly worked as an attorney. It's fair to say that he's now more than your average Joe. He gets to enjoy some of the finer things in life. His wallet might not be as fat as Trump's, but he has a treasure chest that's worth more than other politicians. In this video, we're going to talk about Joe Biden's net worth, lifestyle, and how he spends the money he has amassed. But before we get into the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you don't miss any of the new videos we post. Forbes estimates that as of July 2019, the Bidens have a net worth of $9 million. Biden first released his tax returns in 1998, and the majority of his income was attributed to his salary as a senator and Jill Biden's salary as a community college professor. Biden's last year in the Senate was in 2019, and according to Forbes, his salary was $169,000. When he became a vice president, he got a 30% increase in salary, which saw him earning an average of $225,000 per year. He served as vice president from 2009 to 2017. The pair also received approximately $500,000 in pensions and Social Security benefits over a period of 8 years. However, most of their wealth was made after he left office. Before we go any further, how did President Joe Biden get started in politics? Born on the 20th of November 1942 in the city of Scranton, Pennsylvania. When he was 10 years old, the family moved to Wilmington, Delaware, where his father worked as a car salesman. He had 4 other siblings, and he was the eldest. He attended a series of Catholic schools, and he also went to the elite preparatory high school Arkmere Academy. Although he excelled in sports, he had mediocre grades and struggled with his stutter. He graduated from the University of Delaware in 1965 with a double major in political science and history. After 3 years, he earned a law degree from Syracuse University. He married Nellie Hunter in 1966, and they would have 3 children. At the age of 29, he pulled off a surprising upset over incumbent Republican J. Caleb Boggs. However, tragedy struck before he was sworn in as the county's 5th youngest senator. His wife and infant daughter were killed. His 2 sons were hospitalized when a tractor trailer plowed into the family station wagon. Biden remarried in 1977 to schoolteacher Jill Jacobs, with whom he would have 1 more daughter. Biden won the re-election in 1978 and 5 times more after that. In total, he served in the Senate for more than 35 years before he ran as vice president. What happened during his years in the Senate? Biden was a distinguished member of the Senate. During his time there, he won respect as one of the leading foreign policy experts. He also served as the chairman of the Committee on Foreign Relations for several years. He promoted stability and peace in the Balkans, opposed to the First Gulf War, and advocated for strategic arms limitation within the Soviet Union. He also called for American action to end the genocide in Darfur. Aside from foreign policy, he was also an outspoken proponent of tougher crime laws. He sponsored the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act in 1994 to add more police officers and increase sentences for a variety of crimes. When did he start his bid for the presidency? Biden first pursued the 1988 Democratic presidential nomination. However, he withdrew after the revelation that parts of his campaign speech had been plagiarized from Neil Kinnock, the leader of the British Labour Party, without the correct attribution. He once again bid for the presidency in 2008, but his campaign never gained momentum. He withdrew from the race after only placing 5th in the Iowa Democratic caucus in January of the same year. He emerged as a frontrunner to the Obama's vice presidential running mate, and the pair won that year. They were re-elected in 2012 for a second term. The death of his son Beau from brain cancer prompted him to sit out of the 2016 presidential run. Instead, he campaigned for Hillary Clinton, who ultimately lost to Donald Trump. Biden announced his candidacy for the president in April 2019. He's currently the 46th president of the United States. The couple made over $15 million in book royalties. The current president of the United States is also an author, and over the past 11 years, he has written 2 books. The first one, Promises to Keep, was released in 2008, right after he announced his presidential bid. His first memoir didn't initially sell well. However, according to the New York Times, sales picked up after he was announced as Obama's running mate. His second book, Promise Me Dad, was released in 2017 and is an account of his son's death from cancer. It topped the U.S. bestsellers list for a brief time after its release and sold more than 300,000 copies. He also made money promoting the book. He was paid anywhere between $8,000 and $90,000 per single book tour. According to Forbes, the book tour brought more than $1.8 million. His public speaking engagements also contributed $2.4 million to his coffers. The couple's primary real estate properties are in Delaware. According According to the Washington Post, the family's primary residence is in the home they built 20 years ago in Wilmington, Delaware. Nearly 7,000 square feet, the lakeside property was purchased for $350,000 in 1997. However, the home's current value is likely a minimum of $2 million. The family also bought a $2.7 million Delaware beach home in 2017. It overlooks Cape Henlopen State Park and is only a couple of blocks from the beach. The three-story home has expansive porches, 6 bedrooms, a backyard for entertaining, an outdoor kitchen, a fireplace, barbecue, and picturesque views of the Atlantic Ocean. Biden mentioned that he and his wife Jill have always dreamed of owning a beach home where they can bring the whole family. They also started renting a lavish mansion in Virginia after Biden vacated the vice presidency. The 12,000 square residence features a sauna, a gym, and a parking area large enough to accommodate 20 cars. According to Zillow, the monthly rent is at least $20,000. Before we proceed any further, let's find out how much exactly he makes as the President of the United States. According to U.S. law, the President of the country has to be paid a salary while holding office. The presidential salary has been raised from $200,000 to $400,000. The President is also entitled to $50,000 of added expense allowance, as well as $19,000 for entertainment and a $100,000 non-taxable travel account. Jill Biden might also continue teaching while serving as the country's First Lady. Joe Biden loves his cars too, so let's take a peek at his car collection. Who would have known that the President of the United States was also a petrol head? He has a taste for well-seasoned cars, which were icons from his youth. He may not have a vast collection, but the cars in his garage are noteworthy. His father managed a dealership in Delaware for 34 years, and he let Biden drive some of the models in his garage. It is said that this is when he developed a taste for cars. His first car was a 1951 Studebaker. We're not certain if this car is still around, but back then it was nicknamed the Bullet Nose car. He then bought a 1952 Plymouth Cranbrook convertible with a candy apple red finish. The bulky hood concealed a 6-cylinder flathead engine that produced 97 horsepower. His next acquisition was a Mercedes-Benz 190 SL. We're not quite sure which year model he owned, but it packed a 1.9-liter straight-four SOHC engine. One car that's very close to his heart is the 1967 Chevrolet Corvette that's finished in Goodwood green and powered by a V8 guzzler that can churn out 350 horsepower. It was a wedding gift from his father in 1967 and still sits in his garage now. The newest addition to his cars is the Beast. Built for then-President Donald Trump, it has 5 layers of glass and polycarbonate that makes it capable of withstanding the biggest of bullets. It is also equipped with 5-inch thick military-grade armored tires, and the doors are equipped to survive a direct RPG hit. During the campaign period, he spent nearly $924,000 on private jet travel. If you're campaigning to be the next president of the country, you need to be seen all over the country, and you need to be able to cover plenty of destinations fast. Hence, the need for air travel. He may be known as Amtrak Joe, but he spent a lot of money on air travel during the third quarter of 2019 compared to his top rivals for the Democratic nation. His big spending on jets was disclosed in a campaign finance filing. It showed that his campaign nearly had $9 million in cash headed into the fourth quarter. He's always portrayed himself as middle-class Joe. Although he can afford to buy expensive suits just like his predecessor in the White House, Joe Biden prefers to keep it on the low. Although he now resides in more lavish accommodations and homes, he doesn't splurge on other things. But he has spent a considerable amount of money on charity. In the 2 decades leading up to 2017, Joe and his wife Jill donated only $70,000 to various charitable causes. However, when their earnings started skyrocketing, they also upped their giving. In 2017, they handed more than $1 million, or about 9% of their income, to a total of 26 charities, including their very own Beau Biden Foundation for the Protection of Children and the Joseph Biden Foundation. What's the first thing you'd buy if you had Joe Biden's money? Let us know in the comments section. Stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video.